Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. In this video, as promised, we're going to talk about the new Elvis film.
Oh yeah.
Which I've seen twice. And
have you?
You've seen one? Yeah, I saw it with my parents in Bournemouth.
Oh.
And we went to see it together before I went on a nice night out.
Yeah.
Overall, what did you think?
Well, at the time, when I first came out, I thought it was alright. I thought it was quite long, but as the night progressed and I drank more, I started really liking it. It was great. By the end of the night, I was loving it.
Yeah.
Just thinking of it. But,
yeah, I think it's certainly got you a bit more back into Elvis.
Yeah, definitely. And since then, since going out, I've obviously liked the high standard it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think the pace of it was alright.
It was. Obviously, some bits were rushed.
Yeah, I mean, when he first, he does That's Alright, and then he performs on the Louisiana Hayride, and then before you know it, he buys Graceland.
Yeah, exactly.
So some bits go quite quick, but it's still a 2-hour 40-minute film. But
it doesn't really go into him recording at Sun Records, which I was quite surprised to.
Yeah,
honest,
it went into
quite a big
a little bit. It's sort of like
very briefly. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, it didn't actually show him recording much of anything. I wanted there to be like maybe a scene where he was recording something like Suspicious Minds or.
Yeah. Or like 1970 when he's got like the big band.
Yeah, well, there was stuff like that with the big band, you know, when he's sort of like arranging everybody and getting them into play their different parts. That sort of shows off, because there's different sort of tiny little things that show off things about Elvis where they don't have to spend too much time focusing on it. Like that showed his ability to like arrange stuff and how he was actually musically talented.
Yeah.
Like he had a good sense of like timing and what made stuff sound good. And when it came to like when he did all his gospel albums, he arranged all those songs on his own. So he had a good. It shows off his musicianship, but it also shows off his like, because you know, there's people who say that he stole black music and stuff like that, but nobody steals music. Nobody steals music. Everybody just gets influence from each other, and the director Baz Luhrmann really showed Elvis's influence from the black music at the time.
The Deep South.
Yeah, they were calling it race music and stuff like that. And you know, Elvis sort of brought it to the mass audience, and it also showed how much of a dickhead Tom Parker was. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it was just a shame it had to be Tom Hanks because everyone loves Tom Hanks.
Yeah, and I don't think Tom Hanks suited the part. There's something off about
his accent, because Tom Hanks from like Holland or something, and so he's trying to do like.
You mean Tom Parker?
Yeah, not Tom Holland.
But the thing is, like, he emigrated to the USA when he was young, so it doesn't make sense for him to have a strong Holland accent.
Yeah, he was trying to do
it would have worked better if Tom Hanks had just done his Forrest Gump voice. It would have been
exactly,
more realistic, wouldn't it? I mean, what bits did you think weren't as good, or things that could have been done?
I can't remember. There was it could have been shorter overall. I think. It was like 2 hours 40 minutes.
Yeah, I think when they were doing the comeback special, I think they spent too much time.
Yeah, they definitely spent too much.
They spent too much time with Tom Parker's view, like this should be a Christmas special, because like obviously stuff like that was done to overemphasize the fact that Tom Parker didn't really have a clue when it came to music and artistic value of Elvis's music. I mean, that was done on purpose, but. Like, it shows Elvis singing If I Can Dream while there's like loads of Christmas props. That didn't obviously happen, but they also sort of like skimmed through the movies bit, and also obviously the movies in the 60s
good.
Like Elvis is probably the low point of Elvis's career, but like I feel like they could have spent more time showing him in the movies where he becomes like, you know, sort of detached and depressed. Yeah. Because it'd make the comeback special even all the more
climatic.
Like, because like it was really important for his career, and like it was a really big moment for him. So they could have probably spent a bit more time showing that, but
obviously it was very heartfelt as well, like him and Priscilla.
Yeah,
like
it showed their relationship.
I think it did definitely quite well. And, like the end got me as well. Like spoiler alert. You know,
yeah,
but like
he died.
Well, yeah, he died. Yeah, Joe's told like spoiler.
I know, that's time to start the movie.
But
like,
I think they rushed the ending because they ended it on like 1975.
Yeah, I know.
5 or something.
Elvis and Priscilla, they divorced in 1972, I think.
Yeah, it was 72.
And it shows them like sort of
last together like 74, 75.
in like the limo together, and it's a really nice.
It's a nice moment. Yeah.
It's just a shame that he couldn't fix himself.
But
he had two different partners after Priscilla before he died.
Yeah. Well, his girlfriend found him dead, didn't she?
Yeah.
But it was quite nice when he turned around and like mouthed to Priscilla, "I will always love you."
Yeah.
They all started crying.
And then you had Unchained Melody to come.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of one thing that because you know you said it skipped from like 1972 to sort of the end of his life.
Dead.
Like in the 70s, Elvis, sort of after 1970, he just always had quite a puffy face, and he just got more and more puffy. I think, especially after Aloha from Hawaii, because Aloha from Hawaii,
he's always looking a bit big there, isn't he?
Yeah, that was a big thing for him, and so I think he got quite fit for that, and he lost quite a bit of weight, and I think he was doing well to kick his drugs. He'd not done any drugs in weeks, but I think after the live performance, he got stoned again, and then he just didn't stop doing it after that. But it doesn't really show like, I mean, it makes him look a lot healthier than he actually was, I think.
Because they didn't do very well putting weight on him. Like they had the
Unchained Melody, he had weight on him, but
Austin Butler playing
it didn't look right, did it?
Because they had a bit for Austin Butler, and then when it cut to the shot of Elvis actually doing it, he gained about like 50
and I think
pounds.
when it comes to the 70s, it doesn't show how like his life was a lot more tragic than it. But I don't think they really needed to show it. I was really happy with the message that they got, because they showed Elvis in a very positive light. They didn't mess around with it, which is what I was really hoping for. Like I was hoping that they would sort of show that he didn't steal black music, and also that Tom Parker was
I think
one of the big causes of his death.
They heavily emphasised about Tom Parker being a negative aspect of his life.
Yeah, and how controlling and manipulative he was.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody who's watching this has probably already seen it, but I just hope a lot of people do go see it. His monthly listeners have
they've got it.
So I think it has sort of sparked a bit more interest in him, but I hope it sort of taps into our generation a bit more.
And it's opened me up more a bit.
As well?
Opened me up more to his songs and stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be listening to him a lot more.
Yeah. So I'm just hoping that a lot of people our age go see it. Because I mean, every time I've been, it's just been a lot of old folk, like 70 plus.
A lot of old people. Yeah. We were like the youngest there.
Yeah, we were. I mean, I was like the youngest there as well when I went to see it with my parents, to be honest. But it does do justice.
It does.
As much justice as it can in the 2 hour 40-minute run time.
But Austin Butler sings and does his accent very well.
His mannerisms were spot on. You know when he sang American Trilogy, he does like the way he like moves and just like all of his moves on stage. Like he does this thing as well that Elvis did, where he sort of leans down on one knee and all legs stretched out like that, and it's actually really physically demanding to do that.
I was watching something with Austin Butler, like an interview.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to film before COVID, then COVID happened, so he was locked in this hotel room for like 6 months, and in that time he just learned everything, like all his mannerisms, and perfected his accent and stuff.
Yeah, and the young actress who played Priscilla, I think she's called Olivia Dijon.
She's like 26, isn't she?
She's really, really beautiful, really pretty girl.
Looks like Priscilla,
yeah. Yeah, she does. And Priscilla was also really, really pretty girl.
She was.
Obviously.
She's 77 or something like that.
Yeah, I know.
Pretty old.
Well, yeah, because she was 10 years younger than Elvis, and Elvis would have been 87 if he was still alive. But I mean, it was a really good film. I mean, obviously it wasn't perfect, but
no,
I was not disappointed.
No,
I wasn't disappointed at all. But let us know what you thought of the film. But reviewing a film is so hard because there's so much more to talk about than there is with an album. So this is not the most sophisticated review you'll find.
It's the first time we've done it.
Yeah. Go find other people for better reviews, but this is just our 2 cents on it, I guess.
Also, it's more content.
Yeah.
As you had a lot of
We're making a comeback.
2
videos in 2 days.
Yeah. We say that every time, and we do like 3 or 4 videos and stop for 3 months.
I know. We just forget. Anyway, let us know what you think of the film in the comments below. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah.
Goodbye.